Please, for the love of God, trade Miles Bridges. You should have just let him walk to Detroit in 2022, Charlotte. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Honestly, I would love to know, but at a later date. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Tyler Gates, aka TAG205, back at it with another video. NBA mock draft. I know I'm actually doing a video for it instead of posting my original post. Final Four edition, March Madness edition, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm going through all 30 picks really fast. I want to kind of analyze in a quick but sufficient manner of why these teams should select these players and how they're going to fit long term with their current teams that I have them mocked to. Of course, number one needs no explanation. Cooper Flagg goes number one to the Utah Jazz. Trade Lauri Markkanen, please, for the love of God, trade Lauri Markkanen if you get the number one pick. You want to talk about capitalizing on value, right? OKC has so many picks. How are they going to utilize them? Call up Utah. Call up Danny Ainge. I guarantee you he'll be open for business on half the roster. I guarantee you. Half the roster except for Collier, George, Cody Williams, Taylor Hendricks, Walker Kessler. Those are the only exceptions. And Cooper Flagg. Those are the only exceptions. Can he handle the pressure? Duh. If he steps in Utah day one, he is going to light it up. He is going to be successful. He is going to bring that franchise back from the Malone days and the Stockton days and the D. Will, Carlos Boozer days and the Paul Millsap days and the Derek Favor and the Gordon Hayward days, the Spider Mitchell and the Rudy Gobert. He's going to bring him back from that. Point blank, period. You look at all of these Utah greats, no rings. I think this is finally the guy that brings Utah their first championship. I think this is finally, this is him. Generational talent, Cooper Flagg, nothing else to say. Dylan Harper, number two. How does he fit with Bub Carrington? I love this fit because you have two guards that not only can shoot. Well, Dylan Harper, he has to focus on his shooting a little bit more. But two guards that can play make, right? Two guards that can get their own shot. Shot creation masterclass if you put Bub with Dylan Harper, right? And the consistent percentages you're going to get, especially with mid-ranges. They're going to be above 50% as a backcourt. I guarantee you can come back to this video. If this happens, they're going to be a over 50% mid-range shooting backcourt. Hands down. Hands down. How does he fit with the Washington Wizards? Easy. You need another guard back there, right? Bub can't do it by himself. I love Keyshawn George. Keep him, please. That brother can shoot the lights out the ball. AJ Johnson has shown why he is one of the most surprising rookies this year, right? You can have him as the sixth man come off the bench next year with Keyshawn George, and that be your duo off the bench. I love it, right? You have Chris Middleton, you have Marcus Smart. Figure out what you're going to do with them. I say keep them on the roster, veteran leadership, right? Boom. There you go. Easy peasy, right? Alex Sarr, we'll have to see. Ace Bailey, number three to the Charlotte Hornets. I want to kind of break this down a little bit. LaMelo Ball, Ace Bailey, Brandon Miller, that's your franchise pieces. Not bad. Not bad at all, right? You have Tijon Salon out there. You need to trade Miles Bridges. Please, for the love of God, trade Miles Bridges. You should have just let him walk to Detroit in 2022, Charlotte. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? Honestly, I would love to know, but at a later date. How he fits in for me, scoring ability is there. Athleticism is off the charts. Playmaking needs to work. But the shooting is his biggest what if, his biggest hiccup, right? Mid-range, he can shoot it. But the three-pointer, you got to be able to shoot three-pointers in this league. You're not going to be able to attack the basket all the time, especially not his rookie year, especially just coming into the league. They're going to close that lane, and they're going to force him to shoot. And he got to be able to knock it down. So I love that pick for Charlotte. Develop him long-term alongside LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. VJ Edgecombe at number four. You can make the argument between Bailey and Edgecombe. I'm always going to give it to Bailey because Ace Bailey is my number two player in this draft, right behind Cooper Flagg. I think, to me, I would take Ace Bailey number 2, just based off of need at the position forward for the Wizards. But best player available, Dylan Harper, you take him. VJ Edgecombe at 4, like I said. Defensive skills could bolster. Easy, right? You look at what Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, what those guys are going to do for the next step of this franchise, because I do believe Zion Williamson will get traded. I do believe that. And you're looking at the face of a new era in New Orleans. You're looking at Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, VJ Edgecombe. You're looking at Jordan Hawkins probably playing the point guard position if CJ McCollum can get bought out, or you can find a trade partner to just salary dump, right? You're looking at that. You're looking at all these young guys. Yves Missi out there. He's been great. Great rookie season, right? Jordan Hawkins, to me, could be a breakout player in year 3. He could potentially get all-star votes if he scores 20 points a game. I know that's a wild take, but Jordan Hawkins, I've always liked that kid out of UConn. You give him a chance to start, especially at the point guard position where he can play, make, and shot create. We know what he can do with the three-point ball. Boom. You set him up nicely, right? Kamal Maluach at 5. I know they got Joel Embiid. I want him to Toronto, but at the same time, if you're thinking about this, Embiid just got shut down for the season. He may have played this last game as a Sixer. I made a previous video about this when the injury happened and stuff like that. He may have just played his last game in Philadelphia, which means time to wrap it up. Like, he needs to pack his bags right now. Right now. If I'm the 76ers, I'm trading him and I'm trading George. Built this team around Maxey and McCain. Like I said on the previous video, go watch it. It was about 2-3 weeks ago. Maxey, McCain, Maluach, big 3. I'm down for it, right? With the supporting cast that you already have, I'm down for it. Plain and simple. Can he develop? Absolutely. I love Adeem Bana, right? But he's probably a backup. You could probably play him at the 4 Maluach. Hey, who knows? Derek Queen is my favorite player in the draft. Brooklyn Nets need to be all over this pick. You need to be all over this pick. It's either him or Jeremiah Fears at 6. Honestly, it's either him or Jeremiah Fears at 6. Jeremiah Fears, to me, is a top 10 prospect. I've always loved that cat. Out of Oklahoma, I believe that he will be a top 7 pick. I think he's going to go to the team that I have next, which is Toronto. But with Derek Queen, you need a center, right? Daron Sharp. You could probably trade him away, right? And get some extra value, probably second-round pick or something. Noah Clowney, he's going to play the 4. Cam Johnson, will he still be on the team? Will Cam Thomas be re-signed? We don't know. But you're looking at what you need for the future. You need a center. I would start off with a center. And then down the board, I have a surprise for y'all with that. The Raptors, Jeremiah Fears. I love Emmanuel Quickley. I love RJ Barrett. I love Brandon Ingram, right? I don't really agree with the extension that much, but I love how the Raptors right now are setting themselves up for present and future-wise. Only thing about it, if you draft a point guard, what happens to Quickley, right? I mean, he's still the starter. Emmanuel Quickley is still good player. RJ Barrett, we know what he can do. Scotty Barnes, we need to figure out how we're going to build this thing around Scotty Barnes. If you're thinking about bringing Jeremiah Fears off the bench, don't draft him. He can start on at least 5 teams right now in the NBA. So, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that, right? His college performance may drop him down a bit, but I'm so high on him that I take him 7. If I'm Philadelphia, not Philadelphia. If I'm Toronto, if I'm the Spurs, I'm looking at him, right? Trey Johnson for the Spurs, I'm looking at him at number 8. This is a cat right here. He's good. I mean, he's trying to tell you. He's him. He can score the basketball. Offense is there. Defense is the biggest issue. He cannot guard nobody. Anybody he can't guard to save his life. Please, for Christ's sake, get this man some defense. He could score. But the defense definitely needs to be developed. And San Antonio is the perfect spot for him to develop his defense. Perfect spot. You talk about being in practice with Wemby every day, being in practice with Vassell every day, being in practice with Sohan every day. That's gonna what? You know, and yeah, you already got Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox. You can always use another guard off the bench, right? Keldon Johnson probably not going to be there after this season. So, hey, well, like I said, shot selection, it's okay, but he can score the basketball. Number 9, Con Knipple to the Portland Trailblazers. This makes all the sense in the world to me. I wanted Asa Newell there, but after reading some reports and after looking up and down the board, the best fit to me is Con Knipple. You need to give Scoot a shooter, a shooter, a shooter. Give him weapons around him so he can be a better playmaker, right? Be a better floor spacer himself, right? Put us some three-point shooters around, 3-and-D guys that's going to go out there and shoot the basketball, that's going to defend around him, right? You have Shaedon Sharpe, you have Scoot Shaedon Sharpe, that backcourt. Solidify that, build around that. Will Jeremy Grant be traded? I think so, right? Will Tom Lord be dealt? Will DeAndre Ayton be dealt so that way Donovan Clingan could be the full-time starter next year? You look at all these things. Tamani Kamara, he's probably going to be the starting small forward. I like that kid, right? He's a building block for you with Scoot, Shaedon, Clingan. He's a building block for you. There you go. And how Con Knipple fits into that offense and defense, that team, period. Yeah. He's going to be immediate impact right away. Immediate impact. Asa Newell to the Chicago Bulls at number 10. I love this fit. I'm not a big fan of it. So actually, no, I shouldn't say I love it, but I'm not a big fan of it, but I like the fit. And the reason why I say I like the fit is because you're looking at what the Chicago Bulls currently have on their roster right now in terms of forwards. Modest Buzelis is the only probably untouchable in terms of forwards. Patrick Williams probably is getting dealt this offseason. Vucevic will be in rumors, and they're probably going to listen, but no deal will probably be found, so they're probably got to buy him out, right? You need forwards, especially if you trade Pat Will away. You need forward depth. To have a small forward, power forward duo of Buzelis and Newell, to me, sign me up for that all day. If you're talking about Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Buzelis, Newell, and Vucevic, or whoever the center is, sign me up for that. Sign me up for that, right? I'm cool with that starting lineup. And he's going to develop right alongside Buzelis, Giddey, White. He's going to develop with this current team that you have. Dalen Terry needs to get more minutes, right? He could be a serviceable 6-man off the bench for you, and you're off and soaring. But make sure that you get rid of all of these guys that you don't need. You don't need all these guys. Vucevic can go. Just like you traded Levine, you traded DeRozan. All these veterans, let them go and break it down and build from within. Miami Heat, Jack Uchonis, at 11. Yes, Kasparis Jack Uchonis at 11. I know he had a terrible March Madness. It's okay. He fits in this team for obvious reasons. Him and Tyler Hero could literally be a lethal backcourt. Lethal. 2, playmaking. Take some of that playmaking off of Tyler Hero, who is not a natural point guard. You draft a natural point guard, playmaking fit. He's going to feed Bam. He's going to feed Khalil Ware. He's going to feed Tyler Hero. He's going to feed Andrew Wiggins. He's going to feed all of these guys the ball while getting his, right? He's a playmaking shot creator. That's what he is. That's what he is. Most comparisons are Luka Doncic. If you're getting Luka Doncic from Jackie Jonas, if you're getting Luka Doncic out of Jackie Jonas, home run pick. Number 12. This is where it gets interesting. Because Houston could trade out of this pick. They could trade down and get more draft capital, right? But you don't pass up on a player like Colin Murray Boyles at 12, knowing that he's probably not going to be past Atlanta or past Orlando, right? Maybe even Dallas. You don't pass up on a player like this. South Carolina, forward, right? 6'9", 6'10". Points, rebounds, assists. He can do it all. He can shoot. He can dribble. He can pass. He can score. He can rebound. He can defend. And you need that if you're Houston, right? You need forward depth. You can always have more depth at the forward position. Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, give them some lenience, right? Like, give them somebody that can come in off the bench and take away some of their touches, right? Or take away some of their defense, right? And I'm not saying that it's a liability, but what I'm trying to say is his defensive skills is what you look at when you first look at him. You don't look at his offense, you look at his defense. And the grit and grind defense, I know that's Memphis, but the grit and grind defense of Colin Murray Boyles fits perfectly in to what Houston could do next year. And congratulations to them for clinching the playoff spot, right? This rebuild been successful by not trading Jalen Green and not trading Alperen Sengun and signing them to extensions that are going to pay off and look nothing compared to what they're going to get in the next 3 years. So good job on that, Houston. My Atlanta Hawks, I have us selecting Igor Demon. Yes. And there's a reason why. If the rumors are true that Trae Young wants out, now I'm not saying, but Chris Haynes did say post-deadline a little bit after that the future looked murky. So if the future is actually murky, like he say it is, and we trade Trae Young this offseason, yes, I'll be sad. Jersey will be a memorabilia collector's item, but don't be surprised if we take Igor Demon at 13 because we need a point guard. Jackie Jonas, I'll even take, but Igor Demon fits our scheme. He fits our system. He fits Zachary Ricochet and Jalen Johnson and Onyeka Okongwu and Dyson Daniels. He fits the mold of the Atlanta Hawks right now. His unique skill set. He can't really shoot right now, right? I mean, he's developing. Passing is the biggest thing with him. Playmaking, that's what we need, right? If you're going to tear it down, do it right. That's just my opinion. But I don't think Trae Young is leaving. But in the case that he does, this needs to be the pick. Right? Kobe Buffkin, he's been injury prone, right? We don't really know about him. But can he adapt the Atlanta mentality? That is the biggest question with me. Can he adapt this 404 mentality? Can he adapt the I grew here, you flew here mentality of Atlanta? I think he can. Right? And not to mention, the next player who I actually probably love out of this whole draft, other than Jeremiah Fears, Nolan Traore. We don't give him enough credit for what he does. Nolan Traore is a good player. He's a good player. So don't get it twisted that, oh, he had a down year. No! We were talking about Nolan Traore being a top 5 pick just a year ago. And for him to, in my mock draft, be drafted to a team like Dallas after the whole Luka situation, and he could probably develop into an all-star very quickly because of who he's playing against, right? I know the Dante Exum comparisons. It doesn't matter. Player with potential, you take. Player with upside, you take. And that's what Dallas does here with this pick. What aspects of his game will need to be developed? Defense needs to be developed. How can he meet the needs of the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA? Easy. Just play your role. Don't try to be the star instantly. Just go out there and play your role, do your role, and everything will be just fine. And speaking of playing your role, San Antonio Spurs get Ben Sheriff here. Ben Sheriff. This is the Manu Ginobili of the draft, right? That's what everybody's calling him. He's Manu Ginobili. 6-man. Probably will be a 6-man on San Antonio Spurs if they do draft Ben Sheriff. He can provide additional backcourt depth, help shooting-wise. He's actually a better defender than Manu Ginobili was. But you look at what Manu Ginobili did for the San Antonio Spurs. I see that in Ben Sheriff. I see the vision of what Greg Popovich and that coaching staff is going to do with him, right? His length is there, right? You talk about somebody that is going to absolutely dominate offensively in the clutch like Manu Ginobili did 2-3 years from now. You'll see the progression. Liam McNeely, UConn forward. We all know Big East Rookie of the Year, blah, blah, blah. He's good. Nothing else to need to be said about Liam McNeely. He's good. Should be a top 10 pick. He's good. And you let him fall to 16. You let him fall to the Orlando Magic. Who knows, Lord Jesus, they need shooting. They need somebody. I was begging them, pleading them to go get Anthony Simons at the deadline. They couldn't even do that right. Begging and pleading didn't work. So I'm going to beg and plead that they actually draft a shooter. Liam McNeely, welcome to Orlando. If this is the case, that card needs to be turned in immediately. Run it up. Run it up. At 17, I told you I had a surprise for the Brooklyn Nets. This card needs to be ran up immediately too. Tahad Pettiford to the Brooklyn Nets at 17, yes. Tahad Pettiford, you're looking for that franchise point guard. He is that. Tahad Pettiford has all-star written all over him. All-star written all over him. Potential is there. He is a dog. Reminds me kind of Lou Williams. Reminds me kind of like I don't want to say Jamal Crawford, right? But Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford, those are my two comparisons because of the shiftiness, because of the scoring, right? The offensive ability, the offensive masterclass, the maestro that he is. And not only at Auburn with these little glimpses that we've seen, but high school too. I mean, the brother can play AAU. The brother can play. Brooklyn, take him, please. If he's there on the board, which he probably will be, get him at 17 and solidify your point guard position for the future with Derek Queen. Now you have a point guard and a center. But you have more picks, don't you? We'll get to them. Trust me, we'll get to them. Minnesota, Noah Esenwe. Noah Esenwe. I wanted to go John A. Broome here. I wanted to go John A. Broome, but it's too high and isn't really fit alongside Gobert. But you talk about somebody that's going to be a serviceable backup for you. How he's going to develop offensively, and I'm looking at his stats right here. He needs to become more of an outside shooter. Like I said, in today's NBA, you need to know how to shoot. Defense, not a problem. He will provide that for Minnesota immediately. Ant-Man needs some help down there in that paint. Rudy Gobert can't keep getting dunked on. You get somebody like this, right? Noah Pinda, OKC, probably a draft and stash player. You're looking at probably a draft and stash player here. I haven't seen much of him. Have not seen much of him, but what I know of him is that he is a very, very, very reliable defender, right? And he playmakes. So he's a playmaking defender. That's all I know. And what could OKC use? More playmaking defenders. But they're probably going to be a draft and stash with him, right? Because they already have enough players on their roster. But just watch out for that. Watch out for that. Utah Jazz, John A. Broome. Ooh, when you don't have another player of the year, we already drafted one. Now, why not draft another one? You know, why not draft another one? Let's just get fun. Let's just say hypothetically, if you want to bring Taylor Hendricks off the bench, but I think he should be starting him. But hypothetically, if you do want to bring him off the bench, why not have Cooper Flagg play the 3 and John A. Broome play the 4 with Kessler at the 5? Ooh, I'm just saying. Don't be surprised if Utah pulls some shenanigans like this, where they draft both of the top players in college basketball. Don't be surprised if they do this. Danny Ainge has done tricks before. He has pulled off some shenanigans and magic before. Do not be surprised if he does it again. The Wizards at 21. Carter Bryant, right? You need somebody that's going to be a switchable defender at the guard and forward positions. Johnny Davis didn't work out. Sad, but he didn't work out, right? All the commercials didn't really help him either. His defensive ability, right? And what I'm reading here, it looks like his versatility definitely can impact the Wizards lineup. Once again, I said A.J. Johnson, Bub Carrington, Keyshawn George. That length, it matters. Bilal Coulibaly, Alex Sarr, that length, it matters. And that's what Washington is building. They're building a team full of length. That's exactly what they're building here. You're looking at number 22 now with Indiana. Speaking of length and speaking of streaky shooters, Neat Clifford from Colorado State. Yes, he's been rising up draft boards. Do not be surprised if he takes a Chris Duarte type of jump here. And probably goes in the lottery. Don't be surprised to a needy team that probably wants to contend. Do not be surprised. Like I said, shooting on point for me. His all-around game could definitely be developed, but it will provide Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner, Neesmith, all of those guys, Siakam especially. It definitely provides it with another shooter, another guard forward, flexibility in that backcourt with Nembhard as well. Like I said, you can never have enough guard depth, forward depth as well. Miami Heat at number 23, Isaiah Evans. I love this kid. I would love for the Hawks to draft this kid. But you're looking at, you have Jackie Jonas. You drafted Jackie Jonas to pair with Hero. Why not get somebody to come off that bench and be a spark for you? And that's Isaiah Evans from Duke, right? This brother can absolutely flat out score the basketball. He can play. He can play. I've seen it against USC. I've seen it against Virginia Tech. The brother can play. What he did against UNC, nothing the same, right? The first game, not the second one. But you get what I mean. You get what I mean. How are they going to address his physicality, right? His physical traits. He needs to get stronger. Point blank period. He needs to get stronger, especially if he wants to be a slasher, driving in the paint, right? Slashing. He needs to get stronger. Point blank period. He needs to get stronger. What role will he play? 6-man. Get him on the bench. He'll start some games if injuries start to pile up, but physicality, he needs that strength. My Atlanta Hawks, again, Ryan Kochburner. Yes, we're drafting a center. And yes, he's 7 foot. And yes, he can shoot. Yes. I know we have Mo Gay. I know we have Onyeka Okongwu, but you can never, ever underestimate the power of another center. Move Mo Gay to the forward position, back to the forward position, to back up Jalen Johnson. And now you have your backup to Onyeka Okongwu. He can come in. He's a traditional 7-footer, right? Back you down in the paint, boom, boom, boom. He can shoot a little bit, but the offensive game of the Atlanta Hawks, you have Kyle Korver as your assistant GM. Get him out there, get him out the office and, let him teach him some tips about shooting. And I guarantee you he'll be one of the best big man shooters in this year's draft. If we draft him and that happens as well. He'll be more versatile, especially coming to Atlanta. We're not worried about that on the offensive end. The defensive end, he's a presence. Kristaps Porzingis, a young Kristaps Porzingis is my comp for him. He doesn't have nowhere near the offense of Kristaps Porzingis. But the defense, it's there. It's there. And if you could develop the offense for Kristaps Porzingis, oh my goodness. You have your player. Walter Clayton at 25 for Orlando Magic. This player, this cat right here is the definition of March Madness. He's the definition of a Cinderella story. He is the definition of trials and tribulations, coming back from so many things that's happened, transferring from Iona to Florida, and what a presence he brought to this Florida team. Makes him a first-round pick instantly. Probably was a late second-round undrafted until we see his progression through the season, and especially March Madness, put him in the first round, firmly cement. He cemented his first-round stock. Hugo Gonzalez falls to 26 for Brooklyn. Another pick, another player. You need anything. You need any and everything. You just need players. Just stockpile on players and picks. That's all you need to develop these young guys so that way year 3 of that rebuild, boom, we're off and running, right? Not much to say about Hugo Gonzalez. Thought he was going to be a top lottery pick this year. He just kind of fell by the wayside a little bit, but don't sleep on Hugo Gonzalez. San Antonio could take him as well as a developmental project. Brooklyn Nets again with Boogie Flan. Why not have two guards? When you have one of them that's shifty and can score, why not have two of them? Boogie Flan, Todd Pettiford, yes, please, I will take it. You can even probably start him some games in the backcourt, right? Develop Boogie Flan's defense. His decision-making needs to be maximized. They need to develop that because his decision-making sometimes can get him into trouble. He can turn the ball over, as we've seen in March Madness, and kind of cost them the game. Kind of cost them the game a few times this season prior to March Madness. Boston Celtics at 28. They need anything. And I have a question mark by them. They just need anything and everything, right? We don't know what they need in terms of rookies. That's why I say they need any and everything, if you get what I mean. Because the back end of those contracts are going to start, piling on. You need to get younger eventually. So Al Horford, you need to get younger at some of those positions, right? LA Clippers at 29. I have them as a question mark as well. Don't really know what they're going to do. I don't know a rookie that's really going to fit into their system right now. They could find somebody late down the board. They could probably trade down or trade out of the first round to just accumulate more draft capital to leverage trades. That's probably the smart thing to do at this current moment. And Danny Wolf to the Phoenix Suns at 30. Let me know down below, what do you guys think about this mock draft? Danny Wolf, he's going to go in the first round. Don't worry about it. If he slips to the second round, it's a steal. But his fit, you need big man depth. Kevin Durant might not be there next season. Bradley Beal might not be there next season. Ryan Dunn, stellar rookie. What are you going to do to help out Devin Booker? I mean, this would help a little bit, just a little bit. Big man shooting, okay? So let me know down below what you guys think about my mock draft. Let me know your comments, your thoughts. Do you think that the Phoenix Suns are going to trade Kevin Durant on draft night possibly? What do you think about Todd Pettiford being drafted at 17 in my mock draft? Too high, too low, or just right? And what do you think the Cooper Flag decision will be? Do you think he stays in school another year? I think he goes to the draft. You only get one shot at being number one. So let me know down below, man, and stay live. Peace.